welcome back to BOL Premiere, and unfortunately, we've had a lot of mishaps in the last 25 minutes. So, for today, for an unknown amount of games, I'll be casting as either a play-by-play or color or mix. I don't know. And I randomly got Genetics as my co-caster. How you doing, Genetics?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's Sunday, fun day. We got the last semifinal of Premier. Only one more series after this one.
Only one more, and your team actually, pulled it through against Omega last afternoon, night,
Yep,
I
yep.
don't know, mix. But
It was an absolute banger, and we're hoping for a similar situation here to see. I heard Elysium's been leveling up, so I'm interested to see how they face against
I
against
was
Invade.
a Elysium believer the entire season. For the most part, I was a Conduit doubter. I won't
Hmm.
be afraid to admit it because it was just so back and forth, on how you guys were doing. But then you guys, kind of like settled in and got everything going. Um, but today, TSI did not lose a series the entire season. They did throw a few games, but Elysium back and forth, just like everyone else in the middle of the pack. I don't see this as one-sided as some people might believe. I know people already like kind of take it in TSI to be in the finals, but I do not. I think we could go to 4 or 5 games very easily, and we didn't get a chance to talk about a lot of his drafts because the draft happened while I was trying to figure out who's going to be my caster today or if I was going to have to solo cast. But each of the draft looking kind of interesting. I like it. TSI ended up B1ing Corky as I believe they might have done on his flex, but they ended up picking Corky, Braum, Cho'Gath, Maokai, Jinx in that order. Uh, what do you think about that team comp so far?
I think the comp is really good until about 35 minutes, and then I think the Kindred and the Sivir like crazy outscale it with the Alawi being able to deal with all three of the front line kind of solo. I think it's a very good comp. It screams what Team Solo Invade's done this season. They've had a lot of success on that Quirky, and I think it's a really smart flex to put it in the mid lane against the Galio, and not showing that Jinx until later in the draft. I think it's really good drafting adaptation, but I really like Elysium's comp more.
Here's the thing. So Elysium picking Galio, Sivir, Karma, Kindred, Alawi. They have a lot of damage in terms of like their backline ADC, Sivir and Kindred. Kindred will level up and they have a decent frontline peel, things like that. So they're obviously going to be looking to play a front to back. And honestly, the same thing with TSI. So you're looking at who's going to be the better hyper carry and who's going to level a
Hmm.
little bit harder. So you got Corky, Jinx as your main damage on one side, and you got Kindred, Sivir on the other side. So you're looking at a hyperscaling comp. You got Kindred who does a lot of damage later in the game, and then you have Jinx who does a lot of damage later in the game. And we know RJ on this champion is very, very good, and RJ in general is probably gonna finish as the league MVP. I'll
Yep.
put out voting for that after I figure out you know all the sheets situation. But
RJ has been phenomenal the whole split.
he,
I can't
yeah,
remember a game that RJ underperformed on.
there was one game and then they lost.
Well, as most carries do if you don't
But
perform.
so that's where it lies is how fed this Jinx gets. Because if both team like, there's not really a good flank. If you see flank, it's gonna be from the Maokai or it's gonna be from the Galio. You're not gonna see a flank from like an Olive or something. But it depends how fed Kindred gets, how fed Jinx gets. Because if you're able to cut down the front line of Maokai Cho'Gath or Galio Alawi, and obviously you have like a Braum on one side and a Karma on there with a lot of peel, a lot of protect the president comp. It's gonna pretty much come down to that. It's basically 280 carries versus 280 carries with a crap ton of beef and a crap ton of peel.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be an explosive game one. I fully suspect this one is going to be a late one, given both teams have 280 carries. That's just how double 80 carry comps work. Everyone wants to go late, so
Yeah.
it's really going to come to who stacks those dragons better in the early game.
Well, here's the thing
In
though.
my opinion.
There's a very good chance that Elysium just opts to forgo the first couple dragons in
Mm,
favor of the grubs, especially with an Alawi in the comp. Alawi with time on these outer turrets or the side lane turrets does a lot of damage, and they might try to get the snowball lead going early with just getting those plates, getting those turrets, and getting a lot of gold in their pocket, where they can pretty much just keep shoving into the enemy base, and hopefully to the point where that Jinx cannot become a menace.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Jinx is, I would say, Elysium's comp rate is much more, you know, consistent throughout the fight. But as soon as that Jinx gets a reset, it turns into like this insane monster of a champion. So it's really gonna come down to like the spacing of these AD carries later in the game, especially.
Yeah, and it's funny thing is you don't have a lot of like assassination prospect in this game. Sure, there's like a Kindred that could technically 3 auto you with the Wolf and E and pretty much do your entire health bar, but a lot of this is going to come down to how well can these supports play with their carry. So, I fully expect that Hax is just going to be sitting on just RJ the entire game. And for Arrow, on the flip side, they have a decision to make who they're going to try to, buff up. If they're going to stay on Dilly, or if, maybe at some point you think the Kindred's going to be a bigger threat, which it should be. And then starting giving Gus and Posey the steroids.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Sever's one of the champs who can benefit from either, right? It's awesome to get it, but I think the later the game goes, you probably definitely want to give it to that Kindred, give her the movement speed to go in and try to find those assassination angles that you were talking about.
You got a
Because
standard
people that
5-point coming in, and I think Arrow's getting a little bit. He's trying to get that ward onto the chickens, so they're just gonna match it up. And in mid lane, they're just gonna, hug it out a little bit. And I want some.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
It looks like they're just like, you'd be really, really BM if, NBK just decided to just start doing a crap ton of damage to the Galio.
Yeah, absolutely. NBK, no dancing. Yeah, this is an absolute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, all right.
There's no way.
Hey, you walked into
Unleash
my
doing?
range. Unleash
is
like, should I
looking.
do it? He's looking.
Should I do?
He's thinking about it. But it looks like maybe it's gonna be just respect.
No.
Just making sure the Galio doesn't go in or not.
Yeah.
Mid laning.
I think Unleash really wanted Galio just to, use the enhanced auto just to get some damage off, and Unleash would be like, no.
So I'm seeing something, and I don't know if you see. Arrow. Yeah, walking, trading an auto there. I'm noticing something here that I don't see very often. A red smite Maokai. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, honestly. I don't see that often either. It makes sense on, like, Kindred, but, like, on Maokai, maybe they just, like, picked one.
Yeah, maybe we just auto path our buy there. I don't know, I've never seen it, but it is also a Phase Rush Maokai, which I have seen.
Phase Rush Maokai is very good, yeah.
It checks out a little more, but Red Smite's very interesting to me. I'm wondering what the logic behind that one is.
Bot lane, it's just gonna be kind of like a Farfest. In top lane, it looks like Econ and SK is just gonna trade and blows back. Just get a grass back onto the Cho'Gath, but Econ is just gonna get a little more damage, just try to get a little more space. But unfortunately for Econ, Cho'Gath does have the fantastic passive of being able to gain back health with each minion they kill, which is probably the most. It's a very interesting concept because you can gain back a good amount of health with like 5 minions.
Yeah, the Cho'Gath passive is incredible for lane sustain. It is a favored matchup, of course, right? But if you can dodge those tested spirits, you're gonna win out more than you lose. Especially on a champion with this much sustain in lane.
Man, this has been a very, very, very slow game so far. We haven't seen a lot going on, but I think the big first test, both junglers are clearing the opposite sides, which I fully expected. didn't think Unleash would try to start same side. Guster Posey definitely has the advantage in that area, especially if there's a counter gank. Guster Posey can cash in and be very detrimental to TSI. But so far, CS numbers looking pretty even overall, but top lane Ika is getting the best of SK, which is sometimes to be expected with how big of a lane bully Lowy is.
Yep. And just looking at the CS numbers so far, right? The Jinx does have a bit of a CS lead over that Sivir in the bot. If the Galio picks all this up, he should be even with the Quirky, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen, as it's a difficult champion to farm under tower with this early.
Yeah, and the Galio does not have any pots left, so they will have to reset. Corky still has a couple of biscuits in their pocket, so they're still in good shape. It's gonna blow the TP from the Galio to just get back in the lane. So TP advantage for NBK, and I think NBK is gonna be able to. Actually, didn't shove it in all the way, so he's probably just gonna have to TP back in, just match it. But Tear coming out and Spoot, so no actual combat stats for NBK to try to, get a little more damage onto this Galio. So this Galio should be relatively safe in his lane, just to CS up and just try to mash the farm.
Yep. And we didn't talk about it when it happened, but Arc did spawn bottom scuttle, so the Maokai was able to take that away from Kindred. And that first mark is always a bit of RNG, right?
Yeah, which it's like a mini game. It's like, god dang it, I lost.
Yeah, very unlucky loss, but it looks like Guster's gonna start this dragon on spawn, and I think it's a good angle.
Oh, in the top lane, SK is gonna take a lot of damage, and that's gonna. I thought there was gonna be a lot more dramatic plays going on, but Flash is blown for SK, so a little bit too greedy there, and they're gonna get punished for it. Oh, that's not
and the
good.
back gets stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, back gets stopped.
Gonna get a turret.
Plate gets taken. SK does have a TP, so they'll be able to get back in this lane, but they lost a lot of minions under that turret, and how long TP is nowadays, it's just like you're gonna lose an extra few minions. So get punished by Ika. Ika did TP back to lane earlier, which gave them the small advantage to go aggressive to SK.
Yep. And this Test of Spirit is brutal for the Cho'Gath. I think it's important this season, especially because of the TP nerfs, to just match whatever back timer your opponent laner's on. Because if you don't, stuff like that will happen, and you lose a lot more than if you would have just taken a similar back timer.
When it's all said and done in top lane after that, it was about a 20 CS advantage, and there's still a lot of CS to be taken by Ika. So you're looking at a Lowy that can be a very big problem later in the game.
Lowy's pulling lane up to try to set up a freeze to see about punishing the flashless Cho'Gath. And Elysium did get the first dragon. It looks like they're getting the first set of grubs too. So I don't know exactly why TSI is giving all of this.
Yeah, it's one thing as I expected Elysium to pretty much play for the grubs, but I think it was unexpected that they went for the just a little skirmish in the bot lane. But it was expected that they were going to go for the grubs, but they probably caught TSI off guard. And looks like we're going to get a little tussle on top side. Ika does use the ultimate just to get some damage off, but no more mana in the pocket. So this is going to get this shoved in, reset, and it's still looking like a very favored lane for this Alawi. Almost 30 CS advantage at 7 minutes.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem because there's not really anything else happening with either the 80 carry lanes, and that Alawi champion, if she gets ahead of the curve enough, she can just drag 4 people to her lane consistently. And, just calls like in really imbalance, really bad imbalance.
Yeah, and
for TSI's comp.
So looking at the items, it was about 800 gold advantage for the Lowy, so a little under 3 kills in gold value. And SK only was able to get a Bramble Vest, while Lowy has a Sheen, Chain Vest, boots, and an extra health pot just in case. But actually, it looks like SK did buy a little bit more. Got the shove in. got a little more health just to make sure they're a little more safe. But overall, slow game. I'm pretty sure that we saw this coming. Both teams really just want to scale up and get to a point where they can fight. I think at the 1 item mark is where we're going to see a big fight, as looks like Galio is going to get a little bit of damage on NBK, but Unleash is there, and they're not going to be in range for the, I think it's called Twisted Advance.
Yeah, and Galio having those tier 2 boots kept him out of the Maokai range there. It's really, really good for melees into range matchups to purchase these items, or boots too, first.
They decided to go with the tabbies because most of the damage from the team is straight AD, but there is also a lot of CC. So I understand that it could be a conflicting point of what they actually want to go in my opinion. But I think tabbies is totally fine.
Yeah, I agree. Right, I guess you could make an argument for Swifties as the primary engage for the team, but I think it's perfectly acceptable just for the tabbies as well.
Looks like the Yukata is just going to use the ultimate once again, and just they're doing this very, very I guess this is something that Feathers does. As long as you know, I mean, we have a king in top lane. They're gonna dive SK. SK is just done for. The ultimate is used by SK, but just trying to get a trade kill. But good roam by. I don't even know how to say it. I'm gonna call them SC. On top of this Galio, getting this kill onto the Laui, and once again, not just a CS advantage this time, but another kill in their pocket. That'll be first blood. So a lot more items will be completed. The Iceborne Gauntlet is going to be done with another plate on top of that. So
yeah, this is brutal. Oh,
this is very bad.
Doesn't get to finish the plate. Well, maybe overstaying. And Cho'Gath,
yeah.
Oh, he does not have Feast. So
yeah, Cho'Gath used Feast underneath that tower just to try to get a return. That's why you see Yukaz so low. Guster Posey is just going to be a bot side. Is CSing quite well. About 17 CS up in the jungler. And this is exactly what Guster Posey really wants. Is just to be able to farm up and get stacks on I guess schools? No. Spectre. No. But yeah.
Yeah, it's what Guster wants. It's what the Alawi wants as well, right? It's your lanes are incredibly stable given the innate tankiness of Galio, the amount of shield and damage reflection that a Karma Sivir lane has. So Guster really does just get to kind of farm camps and thrive.
Yeah, Yukaz is doing so much damage at this point.
Yeah, Yiko is going to be a big problem for this Cho'Gath, and that CS lead's only going to widen. Do we have a stack check or a fact check for the
for Guster
Kindred? No, for the Kindred.
Yeah, that's Guster Posey.
So we're on. Oh yeah, for one. I'm sorry. Hey,
during that time, it looks like
I'm sorry.
TSI was able to pick up that dragon. It's only their first dragon, and on the flip side, we're gonna get this. Looks like the Grubbies is going to be contested, so they only have 4 so far. So the 6th Grubbageddon was stopped, and looks like TSI is gonna pick up the rest of them. So 4 in their pocket, but it's totally fine. And we see Guster Posey being a little bit sneaky in the top lane and looking for a cheeky kill onto SK.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting decision to get off those grubs. I'm guessing they had information that they were just crossing over to contest. But yeah, they were on Dragon when the grubs were started. Maybe we pull Yeek off and just have them burst the grubs down. Probably better, because then you just finish feats as well as get 6 grubs. But it's hard to say.
Yeah, and this entire game, I don't think we saw a very meaningful ultimate done so far, like in terms of like the Nature's Grasp or, you know, pretty much that. So
yeah,
Unleash is not able to get a moment where they can actually be very effective, and they really want these team fights to happen and the Maokai CCs come out, but Elysium's doing a very good job of not giving them a chance.
Well, and I think RJ and Braum made the classic mistake of pushing Sivir early, because Sivir is going to be fine regardless. If you just hold wave on your side, you give the Maokai an opportunity to try to gank it, as well as you have the Braum passive to further that. So I think it's a bit of wave mismanagement early game from this Jinx and Braum.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the only lane that's going to be easy for the Maokai to play through.
Yeah, while the CS lead
early
is
game.
getting very large on top side, oh, we see Guster Posey sneaking in, but there is a ward in this middle bush in the bot side. So if Guster Posey decides to move up one more bush, they're going to be seen, and a lot of times going to be wasted. While there's a mark that spawned in the top river, so not going to be able to get that scuttle.
Yeah. No scuttle. Half hacked in the mid lane now. 1-2 Naysayer. I read that in chat. That is Naysayer. And the flash out of Maokai just counter flashed by Naysayer, so really well played there.
But right now, Guster Posey has one stack. So unfortunately, they're not getting a lot, especially because there's not a lot of kills going through. They're not able to get the scuttles as well, but they are getting kind of farmed up. And just RJ is going to take a lot of damage. Arrow and Dilly punish him very well, but the cavalry has arrived as Hax is going to be on the flank, but I don't think anything's going to really happen as there's a fight in the top and bots end, and I think Dilly spell shielded the Nature's Grasp, so they're going to be totally fine there. No sums burned for them as well, but it does give RJ a timer to reset as they did get taken very low.
And I saw a ping come out on the mark on the Gromp, and it looks like Maokai is just skipping camps, running straight to that Gromp. Just no, don't take my Gromp.
Oh, we might look for a fight, and Yikan's gonna get priority in his top side, and
yeah.
forcing a flash of the SK. So,
they do know of each other's presence.
TP from the Galio though is gonna help secure that mark. What?
Oh, Rogue Gromp.
They actually are able to get that with the help of the Avengers TPing in to make sure that
unleashed.
That stack is secured.
So Red Smite into Knight's Vow. I have no idea. And this is gonna be a kill.
Oh yeah.
Going over.
Yeah, the Galio unfortunately is gonna be jumped on, and they do not have flash anymore, so they're gonna try to give this over to NBK, and that's exactly what's gonna be done. But in the top side, Yikal taking first brick, and not just that, they have a 70 CS lead over SK.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's insane. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that maybe I'm just too low elo to understand this game. The Knight's Vow, Red Smite, Maokai is one of them. I do not get that.
I kind of get it. They're looking to protect RJ.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
So they know their damage is RJ and NBK, and they need to protect the ever-living crap out of them, or if they die, they have no damage and they lose the fight. So they will do anything in their power to do that. So I expect fully like Hax is gonna get Locket, Knight's Vows completed for Unleashed. Dragon is being started up, but it looks like they got kind of scared there, which, you know, I think they were perfectly fine to secure it. Maybe they wanted Yikal to be there as backup, and it's exactly what's gonna happen. As
Yikal's 2 items right now. Yikal problem.
Yeah.
And Cho'Gath's actually roaming, so Cho'Gath is completely sacking now to run to this dragon.
The Cho'Gath just has components of everything. Like, actually has components of Sword Mail, Sunfire. Oh, that's a lot of damage on the arrow, but Yikal's going in.
Holy.
And it's gonna force a flash to the MBK. Cho'Gath is in the middle of everything, and they're gonna be taken very low as well. Yikal is gonna land another, whatever's called onto them, but a lot of damage coming in from the Laui, and looks like this fight is gonna come to a smite fight, and Yikal in fantastic fashion steals the dragon, and Hax is running for the hills as they're gonna be taken down. Going to Guster Posey. RJ is slowed up, and they're gonna be one auto away, but they're gonna be Dilly. Dilly's not gonna get it, but Alicia will be taken down. That's another kill on the Guster Posey. On the flank will just clean up the fight, and that's a couple kills going over the Guster Posey, and another kill going over the Yikal. Going bad to worse as so many subs were burned from TSI, and yet they did not get anyone.
Yeah, they find very little. They don't get the dragon. They don't get any kill. Wait. Actually, maybe. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my god, it's a lot of damage. But the ultimate is used, and NBK will probably get punished for this as a kill go over to Dilly, and Guster Posey was
Really
actually
well
very
played.
close to taking that recall, and MK decides to W in, and unfortunately it was to their death.
Yeah, and I don't know how many times I got to play Eco on Plat, but I feel like I would remember beating this, and I feel like this is the good.
If you're TSI, you're extremely happy that there's
No Game 5 allowing. Yeah, you're happy that there's no Game 5 allow you have to worry about, because this is a problem. Ooh.
How do you pronounce that name? Is it Sofonda?
I think it's Sofonda Cox, which, yeah, if you think about what that is, you probably just want to call him Nace. You probably just want to call him Naysayer.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Naysayer.
Yeah, that's
Hex
good.
is actually rooted up, and they're probably gonna go down as well. And this is actually so brutal right now. The Nature grabs is used just to get out, actually. And in the mid lane, it looks like they're gonna be able to get down Naysayer, but just a little more damage, and they just did not have the damage, and that's what happens. NBK wasn't there, so they just didn't have enough damage to take down Naysayer.
Yep, and everyone's making a move towards this Alawi. Alawi does have the ability to get out, though.
Yeah.
They really want to try to contest this Herald, but...
Yeah, I mean, Elysium is going to be able to use the TP back mid. Naysayer is going to be back in the fight, and they don't have a TP besides Cho'Gath on the side of TSI, so they're just going to have to sack this one and go back to farming. And that's a 5k gold lead. Oh, that's a 4k gold lead. Over to Elysium so far. They're going to be able to get the Rift to break open this mid turret, probably, and probably both the game wide open.
Yeah, after your 3 outers fall, if you don't have any outers to play through, which I don't think they will at that point, I don't know how.
Yep, and just
Mark
getting
on beautiful flash there by by Naysayer.
Not having the best game right now, but that counter.
Elysium matched their freak. They matched the scaling freak that has been TSI's kind of bread and butter. You know, let scale, let RJ carry.
Yep, and Dilly's gonna pick up that one. That's kill's going to exactly who you want it, to be honest. You got 2 kills on your Kindred, 2 kills on your Lowy, 3 kills on your Sivir, and mid turret is now under siege, and there's no minis though, so it'll probably stay up for a little bit longer. It just takes one fight for RJ to get back into the game as a Jinx, and we've seen it time and time again. People get a little bit too greedy, they overstay, and Jinx gets a triple kill, like 3 shutdowns. Mid lane turret is going to finally go down, and that's all 3 outer turrets down for Elysium, while TSI has only gotten 1 turret so far.
Yeah, it's brutal, and you have this allowing knocking down a lot of that tier 2 outer so far, and if they can't break anything here before this next dragon, probably pretty much a guaranteed Elysium dragon unless they majorly blunder, right?
This 3rd dragon, the problem with this 3rd dragon is that you lose this, the game's over. You don't get a chance to get to like a Jinx 3rd item. Jinx, RJ just finished the IE, so they are pretty strong. If they get a pick onto somebody, they will fall pretty fast. There's a couple problems with not securing the 1st dragon that TSI probably should have contested, or at least you know, traded objectives, is where now Elysium has the grubs. They're able to take a lot of the turrets because of the grubs. They had the 1st dragon, so now they have 2 dragons, so the dragon stacking for TSI is non-existent. And now you're looking at that store where if Elysium gets the 3rd one,
they're making the call to try to play on the Alawi, and the Alawi knows that no one's there. They're just gonna walk out.
Yeah, and they're not even strong enough to try to just contest the Otacon. There is a big thing where you could 2-man Otacon, but with Alawi being on this top side is almost impossible because of how much priority.
Leashed, walking a little too close to the sun there, just trying to clear out vision, and has to burn the flash. That is brutal.
Yeah, this looks what TSI wants is that they want to slow down the game. Funny enough, because they want to get the only chance they have is getting to 3 items on RJ, and probably third item on to NBK,
Yeah.
and then snowballing from there. And now Elysium, at this point in this win con, is probably like a 90% chance that they're gonna win, and Otacon is being started up, and I don't think TSI is gonna be able to contest this. They don't even know what's going on. They probably have a hunch, but this will go down. Looks like Alicia might look for the steal, but no. And that's gonna be the voracious Otacon, and this is exactly the Otacon they wanted as Elysium, because now they could just take all 3 tier 2 turrets.
We'll send it.
Yeah.
We'll send it. You aren't afraid to fight if you have everyone has a GA. Do your 4-1 that you've been doing, and you'll be successful at it for sure. I don't see how they can contest them at this point without losing the game off of it. If they want to walk up and take turns, I think they have to give them.
Yeah, during that time too, is like TSI did not have any priority in the lanes to take them down, take down those turrets. So basically, the Otacon was free.
Yeah, and I think that's been like the story of this game, right? Is that Elysium is just finding windows that aren't able to be punished by TSI, right? You've seen that the Drake, they can't control the wave management mid, and they're behind on the Corki and the sides, so they just don't have any prio in any of the lanes. It feels incredibly difficult for Unleashed to try to play, in their own jungle with kind of no prio to play there.
Yeah, and looks like Naysayer's building. Randy was excited, but Yukon is actually caught in the jungle, and they're just gonna have to withdraw. So, oh, I didn't even see Naysayer was actually in the fight, and they're gonna be in the middle of all 5 at this point. But we do have Dilly on the back line. They're doing a lot of damage. Guster is gonna be withdrew as well, but it looks like a decent fight for TSI's. MPK jumps in, but they might have jumped in a little bit too far, and they're gonna get very low. We do get a TP back out for Ecos, so they're gonna rejoin the fight. So a lot of gold actually going back into the pockets of TSI. It wasn't that much, but it's enough to do something.
400 and then 2 GAs off it. It's definitely not bad if you're Elysium, right? You would absolutely take that, given the alternative. Looks like
Baron is being started, or
a Baron angle. They're definitely posturing.
I mean, they have the voracious Atacon, or 3 of them do now.
3 of them do.
They have the angle to start a Baron and force a fight and force TSI's hands, especially because the Nature's Grasp is down. A lot of that engage power is not there, and in terms of just vision in the entire map, Elysium has been taking full control of it the entire game.
Yeah, and what I'll say is, like, this is a warning, right? You made that little voracious Atacon mistake there. You gave him 400 gold back. Do it again, you're giving over, 2,000 gold if the same exact play happens.
Yeah, and looks like Arrow might be found in the river, but they're just gonna scurry out there as they're gonna the move speed. And in the side lane, Eka is still working on this tier 2 outer turret, and just a couple more waves, they'll probably get it. This next dragon is going to be up in about 30 seconds, so this is D-Day, as they need to make a plan to how to secure this dragon, how to secure it without all 5 dying, because that will just become Garen. And Alicia's caught in the jungle and Scree forced a flash.
That's tough.
That is very tough. Unleash will need to reset, or they're just gonna have to basically look for the steal. And actually, they're fine.
Jungle camp does heal a lot.
Yeah.
Junglers are broken.
They're still half health. Tier 2 sideways, tier 2 turret and top lane is cracked as well. Dragon started as all 5 of Elysium playing on the bot side, as actually we do have Lowy in the mid lane flank. And that's hunted up, and looks like Dragon was secured by Ghost of Posey, so that's Inferno Soul in the pockets, and just RJ actually got a kill on the Nacer, but big ultimate by Yee-Caw is doing so much damage in the backline. NBK is going to be taken down. Yep, there it is, and Tax going down as well, as that was so much damage from the Lowy.
Yeah. This is
last
gonna be
but not
Unleashed
least,
falling as well.
Leash dying and just
Red team
keep
has
on
spawned an ace.
Keep on
going up
chucking
as
right
they
through the Baron.
and yeah,
Right to the Baron.
good
And
smite by Ghost Posey to secure that as the Infernal Soul was doing a lot of work in that fight, and I think unfortunately for TSI, this game is very difficult to get back. RJ did get a kill at the very beginning of that fight that might have made a difference, but the ultimate from Econ just doing so much damage, forcing every one of the carries from Elysium just to retreat or just eventually dies, which is exactly what happened.
yep. Eco's gonna break the first inhibitor tower. The rocket will go down mid lane. Will not hit. Well, it won't hit anything of value. And I actually like that play from Eco. It's like really optimal time usage, right? He knows he can get
Yep.
the thing. I think he probably should have backed earlier, right?
Mhm.
Walking around the jungle, you walk all the way to mid river. Probably wasting a little bit of your time there, with especially when you have Baron recall. Um, but I would assume the teams are just going to look to 4-1 here, right? You 4-1, send Eco up top, keep letting Eco drag everyone around the map,
Yep.
and play with your
So
Fed ADs on the other side.
mark counter for Guster Posey is at 4. So hasn't really been able to pick up a lot of marks. But Arrow might be in a bad spot as they're taking a lot of damage from MBK, but MBK does W in once again. He just takes so much damage. Dilly is going to be on this fight. Is actually just chase after him. It looks like we might have all 5, but they're too scared to run into the jungle. They just didn't want to throw the game, and I think that's the right call, just to not give the opponent a chance to make the comeback.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? It's like just there's just no window. I just don't see a window that
Oh my god, MK
that
just
that
almost
was a
just died
lot
to a
of damage.
boomerang.
Cinder-
Naysayer actually flashes in, gets a taunt off 2 on the Braum and to Unleashed. Unleashed is just taking so much damage, it's going to fall down, and Unleashed can't do anything about it. 2 items in their pocket, but they're not tanky at all. The Randuin's sure does a little bit, but Guster Posey is doing so much damage to the Kraken Slayer, Black Believer, and Hack's just getting taunted up, and I think they're just going to root it up. Nope, they are fine, but Inhibitor in the bot side falls, and this top side Inhibitor will fall as well. Third one will fall as well, so that's just gonna be everything taken from the base of TSI, just demoralizing him for the second game, and just gonna die the tower. The game will probably end right now. Just RJ falls once again. NBK on the table. Eka, oh, are they gonna be able to get it? No, looks like NBK is just gonna go to the safety of the fountain, and that's gonna be game 1 in a very convincing fashion as Elysium 17 to 3 kills.
Yeah, the
RJ
Elysium
put
level
down
up.
into the dirt with 2 for a scoreline. Probably one of the worst ones he's had all year. So there's a lot to wonder about this game. It kind of fell through the roof from the allowing the top side as Econ just gained such a massive advantage and allowed the entire team just to play a little bit safer, able to pick their fights, and eventually you see the power of Dilly and Ghost Posey come out in these team fights. Well played by them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you a follow up. If Naysayer doesn't play like an absolute frontline G here, he can't roll. They can't roll over fights the same way. I
Yeah.
mean, no deaths on anyone else but Naysayer.
Yeah.
Give man props. Naysayer my MVP this one.
Yeah, I mean, the really only engaged they had was Naysayer. So just go in, and honestly, like the it got to a point where RJ and NBK just didn't do damage to Naysayer because they're just that far behind. We do see the damage charts, and NBK did do quite a bit. RJ, not really. Um, but overall, NBK did more damage than Dilly, and Dilly ended 6-0. The main damage dealer in the game, though, was Yeehaw. A lot of
Mhm.
that was trading back and forth with SK, but in those team fights, that ultimates was just decimating the entire team of TSI, and it made them so disorganized in those team fights that they couldn't actually play a good front to back.
No, I agree completely.
But that was a great game 1. And like I said, Elysium slept on. But we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be back with game number 2.
Welcome back, everybody. It's joined with new casters here. I'm here with Colonel, and I'm Glorsnex, also known as BOL Diamond Guy. Welcome back to Game 2 of Premiere as we're just finishing up draft right now. Elysium did take the first game in very convincing fashion. Mr. Colonel, what do you think about this draft so far that we see?
Well, I'm definitely seeing some interesting picks come out here. I'm obviously not all that familiar with the individual players, but obviously looking around, Lissandra, Mordekaiser, Janna, definitely not the most common picks in the world. So I'm definitely excited to see some of these presumably pocket picks come into play.
Yeah, big thing for me as well is that Tristana first pick is in. That champion to me is Thanos again because they made it a little bit better. I definitely think that I am okay with the Mordekaiser jungle, is what I'm assuming, into the Zenzel. He's able to skirmish early game, but he needs to be level 5, level 4 in order to effectively fight the Zen, because Zen does win pre-3, in my opinion. And I think it needs to be more of a Syndra scaling into the game going on. Syndra can't really make a mistake walking up this game, so she has to play pretty far back. Thankfully, the champion can. I also think it'll be lethality Varus as well, because on-hit Varus can't really walk up until Lissandra, Mordekaiser, Jax, Tristana.
Yeah, I would definitely expect that to be the case, as I do think the side of TSI are definitely going to want to go a bit later into the game. As you mentioned, Syndra's going to want to scale up. Obviously, by the time you're hitting late game with Ornn, you're getting those items on everybody else. Varus always likes to have a couple of items to try and get some heavy DPS out there. So I think that the side of Elysium are going to definitely putting a lot of pressure on early. Jax, Mordekaiser, Rel, obviously some characters that have some pretty good early game power. Once you get those ults at 6, once you're working really from anywhere between 6 to the point that Ornn starts getting his items, I definitely think that Elysium will be at least a little bit favored in some of these mid-game fights. So see how TSI able to hold on. Obviously, some dragons early would help them out quite a bit in just stalling this game out. But I think Elysium are definitely going to be on a bit of a timer to get to a favored point in the game in this one.
I do think as well that it's going to be interesting to see how this Rel can play into Janna, because, you know, it's the classic counter where Janna just stops pretty much all engage with the Q timing in. I really have to see if they can just do this for them. I think it's a really good support counter pick, and that's exactly what you need in order to stop some of this engage, but I think the Janna just won't be enough until it's the late game where she really has all the CDR packed in.
And yeah, I definitely think it's a good pick to go with, especially a lethality Varus, if that's the angle they want to go. Is looking at the real threats, obviously, two of the big ones are going to be Jax and Rel trying to get some stuns on the back line. And well, you obviously can talk about Lissandra going for a deep engage, especially with those first two. I think Rel is going to have a lot of work to do in the late game when it comes to keeping the carry safe. Obviously, Varus, Syndra, basically immobile aside from flashes. So definitely going to need a lot of work put in to keep these deep backline threats. I mean, you have Jax, Tristana, Lissandra, Rel, obviously Mordekaiser will just go completely invuln in his ultimate. So definitely a lot of dive ability here from the side of Elysium that I think TSI are not necessarily impossible to peel at all. You have Xin, you have Rel, or you have Janna, but I definitely think it might be a bit of a challenge later in the game to keep all of your carries safe at all times.
Yeah, I think it should just be a hand stiff, pretty much, is what I'm thinking about. Right. I believe that's all from us right now as we're getting ready to load back into the game. Please stay tuned as we go into game please stay tuned as we go right into game 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of BOL Premier Semifinals. We're here with the Team Elysium versus Team Solo Invade. Elysium took Game 1 in pretty convincing fashion. As we get onto the Rift, everyone looking pretty normal right now. The only difference I see is a green smite for Jax instead of the normal blue smite that I'm used to seeing. Any thoughts on that, Colonel?
I think the green smite is definitely interesting. I guess this comp doesn't really have a super big tank. Obviously, you have Rel and then Jax Mordekaiser will both be a little bit tanky, but seeing him opt for the green to go for that bit of extra health definitely is interesting. And on that note, I'm kind of interested in the fact that it's Jax jungle.
Yeah, I actually expected it to be Mordekaiser jungle, but I think it's perfectly fine. Mordekaiser is really good into the top lane, into the Ornn, is able to just kind of just be a meat shield as the game does go on. It's just sort of a matchup where it's just okay. I think, personally, I think the Jax and sending the Bork up there and having him fist fight the Ornn would be better for you, but Jax jungle with green smite, so... Sometimes we don't get it. There is no fishing done by the Jax.
No, he was fishing in the bush there on the top side.
Was he? I didn't see him catch anything.
I don't know if he caught anything, but I know he had his reel casted out for a little bit. But regardless, obviously not going to make that much of a difference. Yeah, he's up.
Oh yeah, he's at 61. Okay.
Oh my.
Hey, he got a goldfish. GG. That's the gold leader right there.
Oh god, Bob.
All right.
Yeah,
So now, pretty interesting matchup mid. I think that the Syndra just has to play for spacing in the early game, try not to get poked down too much. Whoa. That is a level 2 for Lissandra.
And yeah, I honestly don't hate it. He knows he's going to get the 2 first, so takes an aggressive position on the wave, forces Syndra to play it weird, and obviously Modern Electrocute go burr, and just does a massive deal of damage to the Syndra. Definitely a nice trade there.
Yeah, as we have Yicall just taking a bit of a interesting trade, tank, mage, paladin, rogue, assassin, archer, doing max HP damage, just how it is. It's so chill. I really like this. Yeah, you know how it is. I just have to also see as well as like the dragon stacking as now we just get the lane starting to shove in. Tristana, E passive always auto pushing the way for you whether you like it or not. As Guster is just taking a scenic trip.
Yeah, I wonder if he thinks Xin is on his way around. I guess a level 3 gank on the Lissandra wouldn't have been the most surprising thing in the world, but he loses a bit of time on his clear to guarantee the Lissandra stays safe for a little bit. So, is what it is. He gets slower on his topside clear, but with Xin going down, not really going to be contesting each other for space anyway, so should just be a standard as full clear, obviously scuttles, maybe some ganks coming in after, as we'll see the bot side for Elysium once again shoving in, as you mentioned, Tristana E always doing a little bit of extra work when it comes to damaging out the wave there, but still just a bit of a casual shoving between the two teams, as I would expect some of the junglers to look for some action. Vague, please.
Sorry about that. I was just reading the chat. Hello, guys. Hello, my fans. It's now Yicall will be trading in the top. I really think as well is that it was a good ward on the side of Arrow to drop that early just to make sure that... Oh, wait a second. Is he dead?
Mordekaiser's just kind of getting beat up in the top side. SK509, nice deal of trades. Obviously, the Bella's Breath Brittle procs doing quite a bit. As now Jax jumps in, MBK has to flash out. Nice shove on the E there as Zing gonna go back in. Guster Posey maybe in a bit of damage, knocked up by the Xin, but he jumps away. Syndra flashes in! NBK has none to get away. One more auto. First blood for the Lissandra. As Lissandra passive going in. Zin's out, fighting 1v2, but the stun comes out. Xin kills Lissandra, flashes away. The wave, can they put him away? They do! The minions! Kill unleashed as all 4 mid-jungle use flash. It's a kill for both junglers and a kill for the Lissandra with first blood.
Oh, Unleash, you just had to walk back, man. You were fine. Unleash just walked, like, he had no auto healing up. He already used the healing auto, so he just autoed twice, and then he just disappeared off the face. That's still a really good fight there. Lissandra did burning the flash there at the end just to confirm the kill. Unlucky that the second auto didn't confirm it. It had to be the last auto. But it was still perfectly good. Xin is just gonna rage gang top in response to that.
Yeah, Yika has flash to dodge out here, has to get away from the Ornn E. Xin doesn't even throw anything. Xin doesn't go for the W. He's not even trying out a fight here. As just walks up, forces the Mordekaiser flash, and at the end of the day, not that much to complain about.
Yep, unfortunately, Elysium did pay the minions for that extra kill mid. As now, Cloud Dragon will be started up on the side of Elysium here with the push mid and the push bot as well. Lissandra able to just full clear the waves now. At this point, despite being only level 5, it's still the lost chapter buy. The extra AP is needed as well. And the bot lane's still in a bad position, so it is Dragon secured, which is still good for the Dragon stack. We just have to see what the next one is potentially for Elysium.
Yeah, I definitely think Xin ganking top, while they do get the flash, obviously Xin can't really teleport across the map, so they call the play, Mordekaiser loses flash, they take the drag for it, as we'll see a Mountain Dragon coming up here as the side of TSI, looking for the grubs as a fight mid. MBK gets a stun, but then gets stunned up, Frozen Tomb, and Lissandra will fall.
Oh.
Syndra burns the ultimate, but just an inch away. It will not be the kill onto Lissandra, as it will be now back bot lane. Dilly jumping away with the rocket jump, Janna not able to follow with that tornado, as we'll see Xin Zhao still holding on to these grubs. They should be able to get all three. Jackson's going down to his wolves, so can't expect a big contest here, as Unleashed will pick up the three grubs. Obviously, Guster picked up the dragon, and the first 3 kills, the feet do go over to the side of Elysium as well, so not that far away from their boots.
Very surprised Jax did not walk up there with Arrow. You already had the support there. I feel like you could contest these grubs. You know, you didn't have to just give them up. But Jax choosing to play it safe, Arrow going for the reset to make sure Dilly can't get down, despite Dilly surviving the 1v2 already. Again, I think it's really bad for Ornn to flash during that initial top play, because it's sucks for Ornn, because as soon as he falls mega behind in this situation and he doesn't have flash, he just takes extra damage like that, where Mordekaiser could just easily heal back up consistently. And he will have the ultimate, so he has to play very careful as well. Has to go for pretty much a full damage combo in order to even threaten Mord at this stage of the game right now until he gets those items going.
Yeah, I think SK is just fine playing slow at this point. He just wants to get his farm. He knows he loses a 1v1 to the Mordekaiser, and while maybe he could get a little bit more aggressive if he had his flash. At this point, Ornn has entered the Ornn part of the game from realistically level 7 at this point to 13 when he starts making items where he's just fine chilling out, trying to get his grasp stacks whenever he can and getting as much XP inside of the Ornn as he can to try and get some of those items for himself and his teammates later on in the game. As Elysium definitely have a nice lead right now, 1k up, as Unleashed gonna look.
Wait a second, Arrow could be in trouble.
Yeah, Janamado hits on the Tristana, nice staggers. We'll see Rel trying to jump away. There's Arrow flashed away from, but it still hits. And while the arrow does take quite a bit of damage, the Varus arrow does not quite kill. So gets away with it. Arrow definitely in a bit of danger there, but the flash gets him far enough away.
The Aftershock really coming in clutch there to save his life. That was really, really close right there. Despite him eating the Varus chains and the Janna Q as well, is still surviving. Really impressive there from Arrow.
Yeah, we'll see it back in the top side. Yika and SK off to the trade, as for the moment, both junglers on their blue side. Still a couple of camps to clear if they want, as Dilly and Arrow still feeling the effects of that earlier fight as they rebounce the wave off their tower, as Jax potentially looking for a bit of an invade here, but things are coming out, so we'll see if NBK and Unleashed want to make a play toward Guster here, as they don't know where he is. Unleashed assumes he's just not here. Obviously, they see the Raptors moving, as he's going to get spotted now, moving over towards the camp, potentially just looking for a steal, as it does look like Guster got the big one there. Unleashed gets all the little Raptors, but nice steal there by Guster with the smite.
Oh, that's upgraded smite diff right there. Did get the upgraded smite and then just walks up and smites it away from Unleashed. Just says thank you for it, brother. As now just... It's not really been any punishment going on in the bot lane right now. They are being very patient with this game going forward, so I think it just comes down to the moment where you just can't go aggressive, as Mordekaiser goes aggressive top. Aggressive bot lane, really, because, you know, you do have the Janna to stop all momentum of that gank go. But I really think into the later stages is just careful where Varus has to stand. Guster? Oh, wait a second, Ornhorn.
Forge God, I am Showcase. SK, not necessarily the best use of the ultimate there.
There
I thought
may
there
have
was a
been
very small chance Jax was gonna flash stun when he pulled out the Counter-Strike so early, but
Wait a
at this
second,
point,
Naysayer is also
yeah,
coming in.
they just wait for Lissandra. We'll see if they want to go for anything here. The wave is basically all dead, so I'd be shocked as, yeah, Ornn basically full HP, Xin the same, so they're just gonna back away, take the recall. Xin back to the camps, and Mordekaiser back to the wave.
Unfortunately, guys, please do not look out your window. There may have been a call of the Forge God going outside. Uh, but it's okay. Sometimes it was a good play. He really thought it was a good disengage Ornhorn, really just to stop any momentum of the play even happening. Big thing to notice here in this game is that most of the CS leads have started to take effect as well, which is helping with the gold lead as Unleash starts the Mountain Dragon. But I don't think he's in a decent enough position to even start this as well. There is shove mid, and bot lane is just even, and I think you just reset it and just let Elysium try to take it first so you could fight them afterwards.
Yeah, they do have Ornn teleport if they really want to ship this, but it will be a crash down. It will be the force onto Janna as Janna flashes over the wall to escape. As we see it, the Janna tornado hit onto the side of the Lissandra, but not going to have any type of follow-up. So they just back away for the moment as the Scuttle Crab, the target here. Spear's arrow flashed away from. Nice by Guster, stays away. Now a flip onto the side of the Janna. Stun comes back out. Now it's going to be a Lissandra Frozen Tomb. Rel Magnet Storm knocked away from as they're going to go back in. Lissandra goes in. The bot lane is collapsed. Hax goes down, now it's stunned on the front side. There's a lot of damage coming out. Unleash trying to buy time with that Zeeks. It's MPK. Jumped on the backside. Guster gets that kill. Unleash flashed it over the wall, but it's turned onto the Varus. And it's a 3-for-1. Well played by the side of Elysium as they take down NBK on the bot lane at just the cost of their Tristana.
Oh, really big fight there. Janna just in a poor position early in the fight, not able to separate as much as she would like to as well. Arrow playing super patient as well. Just really overall well played by Elysium. They're just playing together as a solid unit right now. Syndra is just so behind in front of the Lissandra where it's not able to just match the presence for it, right? Despite this bot lane being behind early game for the side of Elysium, it doesn't really matter. Lissandra is just doing a lot here. Jax already up so much as well. Up already like 5 little monster camp things, monster candies. So already close enough right there. The gold lead already 1.2k. Big top gold lead, but that's just all mostly CS where Orange just can't really contest into the later stages of the game. Realistically, your only gold lead now is just on this Varus, hoping that he can do it. And it is on hit Varus as Grubs has started up.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see that call come out, but we'll see if it does or doesn't pay off for the side of TSI, as it will be at Mordekaiser going in. He dropped the ultimate. Unleash may be in danger. He has no flash, no ult. It's just Yikon Unleash fighting in the pit as all the Forge God only the Grubs. Unleashed is trying to bounce his way out, but he's going to get caught by 4. Yika gets that kill as 4 Grubs are grabbed by TSI. They get one more off of this set, but it will be a 2-1 on the second set, which at the cost of a 1 player, you do get the 4th Grub. So TSI definitely not happy to lose out on a player, but I think overall 4 Grubs is nice for them.
Yeah, this game is starting to get really ugly, though, if you're at the side of TSI. Like, it's starting to get a bit out of control, where you need to stop some of the bleeding from starting to happen throughout the game. Yikon unfortunately missed 2 of those big slams, so not able to fully kill him and help secure the final grub, so that way they would have gotten feats off of it, but that means the next objective, which is going to be, I believe, Chemtech Drake. It is Chemtech Rift. So that may be our next big objective to see what we can. As Rift Herald, I believe, won't be spawning until 18?
I don't actually remember exactly when it spawns. I think it spawns a little bit sooner, but I can't imagine either team are going to be that desperate to force him.
Yeah, but that would be feats for the side of Elysium, so expect Arrow to rotate at that point, make sure that they're ready for it on the fight as well. Hopefully Xin and Syndra can catch up at enough points to have enough for it and make the fight contestable, but as of it going right now, just the Lissandra Malignant's already completed. Jax has the Trinity Force as well, up 20 CS, 30 CS top lane difference right now. Syndra and Varus are ahead, respectively, CS-wide, but in terms of game, they're relatively just close.
Yeah, we will pass that 15th minute as the gold lead continuing to grow for the side of Elysium, nearly 3k at the moment, as we'll see Unleashed Xin getting ready for this bot side to become a party once again. Drag obviously coming up in a couple minutes here, as for the moment, Mordekaiser is going to proxy on the Ornn, as maybe a bit of action on the bot side.
Wait a second.
Stacked up, Janet Tornado comes in, Crash Down Magnet Storm jumping, Counter-Strike in as Teleport coming in from the Lissandra, as Teleport flashing around from everywhere on the map, as we're getting everybody in the bot lane now. 5v5, Ornn searing charge away, but he's going to get stunned up. Frozen Tomb pulled in, Ornn should go down as...
Oh, 5-man Syndra!
The Forge God is... Oh, he can't hit the R2 as we will see backline. Ornn goes down, Tristana gets jumped on, but Mordekaiser, Chaos, triple kill for him. Rel gets one, Janna the sole survivor, and Yi Ka picks up a triad of kills on their way, and that gold lead has just ballooned up.
Very well played from Yi Ka there, hitting the Mordekaiser ultimate perfectly, saving his team from the Ornn ultimate. It's really, really bad on the side of TSI. This Mordekaiser is now Thanos with this Jax ahead. That was a perfect fight for them, realistically. Syndra E caught 4 of them. It would have been an amazing fight, but it's just not enough with the Mordekaiser ult timing and just how a little damage to the rest of the team had as soon as all of the cooldowns were blown. Is also just the fact of just Varus having Rage Blade first item as well, where he's just not able to do too much yet. He needs a couple more items, maybe 2 or 3, to really push that tempo forward, but I don't think it will be enough, honestly.
Oh, actually, Varus is going to get jumped on. He has to flash away as Tristana still goes close to lethal with that Buster shot, but ends a little bit far away as they do force Varus flashes there at the cost of Tristana ult, which they didn't really have to pay, as blue team do take down the Rift Herald. They force it with Guster and Yi Ka. Flashes away now on the top side away from that Mordekaiser E. The side of Elysium have gotten those empowered boots. They're working on a bot tower right now, and they are just continuing to stack up problems. 4.4k gold lead. They just picked up their empowered boots, and they're Rift Heralding down the mid lane as MPK might lose out on his tower here in a moment, as we'll see if they do decide to commit.
Oh, Lissandra Blast Cone!
Oh, well played. Guster goes in, flash stun, and they just full combo him. They're going to take this mid tower, see if they can get another Herald charge here, as they're going to drag it around, as I'm not quite sure where Jax is going with this. I don't know if he can find a tower, as we'll see the drifting here. He might, no, he just crashes it.
What?
Okay.
There is a drunk driver on the Rift. Please be aware. There is a drunk driver. Guster Posey takes the Rift Herald, just straight up crashes into the wall, stops it from even charging on the second time because he did take it. Very unfortunate. Zinzao will still clean it up. I think he was trying to go for top, but I don't think it was happening. Again, another important cooldown is that Lissandra still has the ultimate as well, as Chemtech Dragon will be taken in its sole point for Elysium. 6k gold lead. Objective bounties are now up for the side of TSI. And as you look at this game going forward, yes, you have an Ornn, and yes, you have on-hit Varus, but I just think that it's really, really hard for you to come back as well as you could. Oh, Lissandra, speaking of that,
yeah, Lissandra goes in, Glacial Path Flash, rude as it is going to be the ult there. Unleashed now in danger after NBK goes down, and they're just going to give it over. Jax double kill there. As nice read by Sofanda Cox as he will go in, flash Aru onto the whole team, and by the whole team I mean 2 of them, but obviously a nice CC play there. They pick up on it, and it's a nice double kill.
Oh man. It's getting worse and worse. I may have caster cursed it. My bad. My bad. But, I mean, it's just... This game is just starting to get really ugly. You know, Syndra just not able to just play as far away as she could and able to farm. You know, she does have equal CS, right? But it just comes with the cost of just 6 deaths. Where they're just constantly engaging onto her Jax, flashing constantly, Lissandra just EO in, not able to get stunned in time, just constantly just engages on her, and it's really hard to play the game for her, especially when she goes ability haste, and she doesn't go mercs to beat the CC of it all happening as Unleashed. finishing Grubs here. Oh, Yikal may be in trouble, but Arrow's here to save the day.
Yeah, he has Mordekaiser ult to try and stall him out some time. He's going to go for Unleashed. We'll see if he can at least get one here as Zin goes back in. Rel going to time it in. As now they are going to get the one kill. Janinato comes up as Ornn and Rel able to take down the kill here. And now it's Arrow in a bit of danger, getting saved out by Lissandra. Flash away from the Call of the Forest God. Now they're targeted the backside. Janet goes down as the teleport comes in from Syndra. It's Sofonda and the Rel running away. Now is Tristana going to join the fight. MBK now flipped on Danger. Bomb on top of him as the Varus ult does connect. Not going to get that kill as Syndra gets away by an inch. But now Guster arrives. He takes down the Varus. It's another kill for Elysium as Rel is looking to dive this Ornn. They're going to go in. He's going to tank up tower shot after tower shot. Jax is going to get the stun. They can take down the tower. They take down the Ornn. Billy flashes away for fun. Syndra can't find the combo. And Elysium are walking away with this one. 8.5k gold up. They have 14 kills in the lead as Posey gets to the Syndra. 19 kills to 4. They have boots, 3 dragons. They have everything they need aside from the Nexus with now an 8.8 thousand gold lead, barely 20 minutes in.
Oh man, it goes from bad to worse to, oh my god guys, we can do it, to, oh god, we're so over. It's a bit crazy. It was the actual meme of we're so back and it's so over. I don't think that you are in a very happy place if you're TSI, as it's just, I mean, the Syndra's just trying at the end there. Dilly barely surviving on the 1 HP, and then eating the tower shot, because he eat the tower and not the Ornn, and the Ornn still dying to the E explosion damage on the tower. It's just great. I mean, it's just Elysium bias, guys. What can we say? Elysium paid the minions and paid the towers. That's the big bucks.
As we'll see Arrow potentially get jumped on here. He gets away with the crash down as Scryers counter each other out there. As we'll see some resets coming in as Elysium realistically just going to wait this game out and continue to bleed the side of TSI out of objectives in their own jungle, as we see Yikal waiting around for NBK. If he oversteps by a foot, that man is getting pulled to the realm of death and getting taken down by this 5-1-2 Mordekaiser. So see if NBK stays safe there on the bot side, as the rest of the team are just getting whatever gold they can. Zin is left camp here or there as he goes up to his Krugs, as everybody on the team bleeding CS. Obviously, Ornn down by about 40, Jax by 20, Syndra by 20, Varus up by about 10, but unfortunately for the side of TSI, that Varus is not going to be the game saver here.
It's crazy now, because Naysayer has bought the Medjais. Unfortunate. Oh, NBK! Oh, wait a second, they're still going to get the flash. Oh. Okay. I was standing there, Colonel. Oh, Guster Posey!
Mortal to just RJ. Actually, nice flash away. He's gonna get a bit of time to auto onto RJ. Now it's gonna be the
you got Dilly.
Unleashed and Hacks getting jumped on by the Lissandra. Jana's flipped in, taken down. Varus jumped on now. Guster Posey gets a kill onto the Rel for the shutdown as Mordekaiser gets one. Rel gets one post-mortem as we'll see the Ornn stunned up here as everything popping in on him. He flashes away. Guster, though, does not care where the opposition are. He will find them and he will hunt them. Conquer or triumph. Everything is pulling him up. Unleashed barely gets away as, unless my UI is lying to me, Yikal currently has the ultimate ability power from the alive Xin Zhao. What is going on there?
No. It's just a visual bug. Yikal now actually ulting that fight, which I think was the misplay really for him, because Dilly also getting caught as well in the side there. It was also really good for him just to see what he can. We saw what a winning fight now is for TSI. We just need 5 of those, okay? It's okay. Like, bring out the newspapers. Yikal will now be flowing in. Does put it into the death run, but it's not enough. Oh, Unleashed.
Yeah, he goes into the pit. He kills the Mordekaiser, and then he gets jumped on by the rest of the team.
Wait, they're contesting, though.
Yeah, the soul goes over. Hax gets one tapped. Arrow on the backside is harassing him. While they kill the Tristana, they get the Varus back. As Arrow and Lissandra looking for the play, they're going to take down the Syndra there at the hands of the Lissandra passive. As the Iceborne subjugation creates a cascade amongst the players. As Jax, Lissandra, Rel all live at the end of the day. The other side, Ornn walking around for a nice time. As we'll see Jax and Lissandra head toward objectives.
Dilly just pressed the S key there. He actually just stopped moving just so Varus could get the one back. Not gonna lie, respect Dilly, respect for that. Otacon is started for the side of Elysium. Do you even expect this game to go much longer, Mr. Colonel?
I would expect Otacon. I would expect them to force a Baron, and then they either get the Baron and end the game, or win a team fight and win the game. I don't really see this game going another 5 minutes.
Yeah, and as a fully stacked Medjais for Mr. Naysayer, as now Voracious Otacon. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We can beat Zin. I don't know. He gets Lissandra.
Yeah, no. It's chill. You know, it's so chill. Guys, who cares? First 2 games, doesn't matter. Best of 5. Just play game 3 out and just win. You know, TSI.
Elysium have burned all their champions in the Fearless pool. That must
exactly. Oh, it's so big, great. Oh,
Warren puts an effort in.
Yeah, not much you could do right now at this point of the matchup. 3-item Mordekaiser, Arrow just trying to save mid lane. Don't think he takes damage, as he just ate 2 full combos there. Econ now going in, gonna ult him, and Mr. Varus.
He's gone.
As Baron is completed with just Jax Tristana, and yeah, no, it's Baron, Voracious Otacon, Soul, and Lissandra ulti still up. Arrow still has ult. Jax is alive. Yeah, no, yeah, it's winnable.
The one, I guess, technical silver lining in the exact moment is that a lot of people on this team are bleeding out of their HP pool. Mordekaiser's in shreds, Rel's below half HP, Jax below half HP, Lissandra, obviously not the tankiest target of all time, and while they do have an hourglass or stasis at least. Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna take the inhib and walk away. They see their own HP pools, and they know they have a little bit more time with Baron.
Surprised they actually didn't walk bot there to also get that bottom inhibitor tower. I mean, look at how low it is. It's just especially how low it was. I mean, just one hit from somebody and they could walk as a unit. You have the Voracious Otacon. You might as well use it to your full advantage. You only give up 200 gold for the kill, right? I mean, Zin did get 1k from Jax from killing Jax underneath that bot lane tower, right? So his gold technically reset, but I don't think it's enough. Really, I think a bit of a too safe play from Elysium, despite the gold lead being 13k. As SK, oh, can he run? I think he... no.
I think if he layered the CC with the Bella's Breath there, he had a chance, but very difficult read, so he just gets ulted down by the Lissandra, goes down. As I think now we will see the side of Elysium go in. Obviously, they do now lose that Otacon buff, which maybe could have been put to better use, but I guess they just don't see the reason to even give over the potential 1,000 gold for everyone going down. As we'll see it, some stuns go in onto the backside. Lissandra going to go into that stasis I mentioned there. As Lissandra...
Oh, Lissandra?
Stun comes in, Dilly gonna get that kill as Lissandra...
Big Sigil!
As Tristana gonna get a kill. They do get a kill onto Tristana and Lissandra. As we'll see if Haxel and Leash can try and do anything, but the Zinzao 1v3 feels pretty unlikely, as Nexus Towers are just gonna get targeted here as Mordekaiser holds down the front line, and 33 kills to 11 with over or just about a 14,000 gold lead. Game 2, Elysium.
So remember how we said first game, you know, it was just an off game? Unfortunately, game 2 was a repeat. I don't think it was just enough anywhere for the side of TSI to really do much this game. They kind of just lost everything they ever did. Every engage went poorly. Every fight, every pick went great for Elysium. They lost pretty much all stages of the game, and it's very hard to play, especially when you have such a skirmishy comp as well with the Janna as well, where you need to just play safe and play as much as you can. But I think TSI, you know, they got the game 2 beat down, you know, but game 3 is their game. You know, some say gamblers quit right before they win big.
Amen.
And let's just say the jackpot is incoming for TSI. I believe in them. Do you believe in them, Wookie? I said Wookiee as our whoopsie Colonel.
As I obviously have not been around BOL the longest. Looking at the stats, this isn't what you'd expect. TSI average almost the most kills in the league. They're the only team that averages single-digit deaths on average. I mean, their assists are in the 50s. They're having fantastic KDAs, good gold, good CS. They have a lot of things that look like should be going for in their favor compared to Elysium. But Elysium, whether it's the day or whether it's the rule, they definitely have TSI's number right now. As we'll head things back over to a break, and we'll be back with Game 3 and potentially the final game of the semifinals.
Welcome back to Game 3 of the semifinals of BOL Premier. I'm joined by the lovely Colonel yet again as we go straight into this draft. This time we are catching the beginning of it instead of the tail end. As the bans are coming in, already decided for the first phase already. Darius, Ivern, Volibear on the side of TSI, and Vigar, Zyra, Nocturne on the side of Elysium. First pick is that Ashe, a very powerful pick, as the response is TSI Hui.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not surprised by the bans. From what I remember, that's what they banned in Game 2. I assume they look similar to what they banned in Game 1. Obviously, some of them pocket picks, I'm sure. Some of them just some strong characters that I assume the teams are fine with playing. As alongside that way, it's going to be a Skarner pickup here by the side of TSI.
I really need to see how they respond to this going forward. For Elysium as well, they do see the Hui and they do see the Skarner. My main thought is as well, considering the supports that are taken away, we don't have the Karma, Janna, Braum, or the Rel. So it really just Oriana. Okay, they think it's mid Hui. It could be support Hui as well. I'm not exactly too sure where that Hui is yet, but it is an early belief. I do think that Wukong still being up as well. I wasn't picked either game as Mundo is locked in. Okay. Wait a second. Where does Mundo go?
Top question mark?
You call going in with the Mundo? I mean, Mundo did go. I mean, Yikon did go crazy last game. You know, could be it goes where he pleases no matter what.
Man, if Mundo wants to go top, Mundo is going top. It's definitely an interesting pick. I mean, it's not what you expect to see every game, but if they believe in Mundo, I believe in Mundo. As TSI look toward Lulu.
Is it Hui bot? Is
With
it
the Lulu?
Lulu? What do you lock with Lulu? There is no Jinx. Siver's gone. Tristana's gone. No Corki either. No Varus. Who are you locking in? Vayne, a good ban as well. I guess Kaisa is up if you are TSI. Felios is up. Never mind.
Okay.
Legitimate. It could be Zeri. It could be Twitch or Zeri.
Yeah.
If it's Zeri, it's cinema. If it's Zeri, it's legitimate cinema because that will just be the ultimate hand stiff bot. He will have to hard carry. They're putting all their baskets in that as well. Gives you a reliable AP carry. Cogba.
Yeah, okay, it is Cog.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely the one I think of. Obviously, you think Cog Lulu back to, God, what was it? MSI 2 years ago where it was pick ban. It's going to be picked up here. I don't hate it. I think obviously there are some things it's going to have to keep an eye on, but you're at the point you're down 2-0. I feel like you got to go with something, and if it's going to be the Cog Lulu that gets him further in this series, so be it.
Okay.
What?
Set. What?
Of course. No, Sean, right?
Okay, yeah, this is a comp of all time, not gonna lie. I think you go kind of a hook support, unless it's set support. And if it's set support, then Cinema, I guess. I'm not exactly too sure. Renata. So it's
Mundo Jungle?
Mundo Jungle? Wow, I'm surprised they actually went Renata, actually. I definitely think you picked something to disrupt the backline. Renata's... I really think, like, you could pick, like, a Thresh or Blitz here as well, just space the Cog Lulu, you know, get a guaranteed hook on them into the later stages. Urgot is the response for TSI.
Yeah, I know Thresh is... Wait, no, Thresh is not Fearless banned. I think Thresh was just independently banned last game. Okay.
Yeah, I think as well with Blitz also up.
Yeah, he should be.
I think Blitz was 100% the answer. But yeah, no, Ash is able to have a nice power farm into Cog Lulu. Hopefully, he does not take bad early trades. We have seen TSI and kind of play more of a passive style in the first two games. Where, thank you very much for the raid, Risen. Sorry, I keep chat open on this little small monitor on
You're
the
good.
side here. I definitely think with how like safe TSI plays, it's okay for the Cog Lulu, but I'm not exactly too sure depending on how the fights go in for them as well. Uh, Realistically, this set is only ulting the Skarner. Don't think you're ever ulting the Urgot, and it is Mundo. We will have to see where they go. It will be very dependent on it. We will let you guys know as soon as we know as well, but I don't think that it's not good enough, honestly. But I did say that about last game's draft, where I liked DSI's draft a lot, and then the game played out. So hopefully it will be better.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. The set Mundo is not something that I had on my pick list. Obviously, Renata Ash, not necessarily what I would be immediately thrilled to play into the enemy composition. And obviously, they first picked Ash, so that gets a bypass. But Renata definitely interesting. And then on the other side, there's some more characters that you just don't see every day. You don't see Kog'Maw, you don't see Urgot all that often. So this is definitely going to be another fun one as we see interesting champs. I mean, I haven't seen a Mundo in a competitive game in a hot minute. Obviously, the other ones appear occasionally, but definitely not as common as some of the others. Obviously, Ash, Ori, Hui, Skarner, Lulu all show up quite a bit. So this is definitely going to be fun, especially once we solve out this Mundo set debacle.
Yeah. I I mean, hey guys, as soon as we know, we'll let you know. I feel like it is going to be set in Urgot top, and it's Mundo jungle. Okay, so it's a Mundo who is able to free farm, right? Because he doesn't have to pressure too
Yeah.
much in this game. But gank pressure, the Oriana also has some issues realistically finding a very easier target to hit on it as well. I think it's a blunder for you to first ban the Nocturne when you were planning to go Oriana. It seems like because you can't just spread this Oriana pick randomly.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make too much sense for me to just ban the Nocturne as well, unless your jungler just doesn't play Nocturne and you're just like not going to even think about it ever. But hopefully we'll get into game and see if these comps can do better for TSI. I mean, I'd like it a lot more. The only problem I kind of have is the Urgot potentially losing early game, right? If he doesn't play correctly. But I don't know. It's up to them.
On that note, I think I'm looking at the OPs here. Guster Posey's highest mastery champion is Nocturne.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe they're saving it for game 4 or game 5. I don't know, but regardless, the game 3 draft definitely looking interesting. We'll bounce things back over to a little bit of a break, and we will be back afterwards. Potentially the final game in game 3. We'll see if Elysium can shut it down or if TSI are going to start a comeback.
Welcome back, everybody, to Game 3 of Premier Semifinals. Elysium taking the first 2 games very convincingly. And this time we have a bit of a more interesting draft on the side of Elysium to see how they respond to the Cog Lulu. Set was the answer, is it's going into the top lane. Hopefully he's able to push a early lead there as they just go for the invade. And Kog'Maw may find he is alone here. The ward is there. Slow.
I don't think
Oh.
they have a lot of slows on him yet. They actually got his cleanse.
Oh.
I don't think that was needed. You already got his flat, or you already got his cleanse. I think he's good to go. But, Arrow goes for it. Flash handshake misses. So Kog'Maw gets out, obviously just using the cleanse as originally planned, and then Arrow kind of donates a flash at the end.
Yeah, that was a very necessary flash, I think. Very, very tough for them, but it's okay. Still, able to get the Kog'Maw cleanse early game as well. Kog'Maw forced to take cleanse, of course. You play the Ash tax this game as well. Also, just a good spell in general to take for him as well. Fleet Footwork Mundo just to help with the sustain, as it is Grasp Skarner in the jungle. And honestly, Colonel, who do you think wins top lane right here? Because that's pretty much our lane to watch.
I'm gonna give it to the Urgot. I think that Urgot just has a little bit more agency in dodging things like the punch later on, but I definitely think that a lot of skill comes into play, and I think that if Yika wins, I won't be that surprised.
Oh, Yika is starting the W, actually, level 1. That is interesting as well. Usually you start the E for the minion spacing as well, especially since he went for the invade as well. He just started the W. May have been a misclick, but not exactly too sure.
My assumption with it is that he didn't take a spell before the invade, and that he would have panicked or shift leveled E to get the quick E grab if he needed it, but for lane, I guess he just wants to make sure Urgot doesn't go aggro. As a fight bot side, Arrow still walking up, just RJ. Hits the shield from the Lulu, which will keep them safe, as this is, I think, what Yika wanted to avoid. Urgot walking circles around him in the level 1 and taking a massive amount of damage without a good way to deal it back, as see the W used there. Obviously, you get Urgot flash for it, as it will be the flash coming out from Orianna. I mean, yeah, just is what happens. Skarner comes mid, you're going to get pulled in by a Hwei pull. You're going to die if it grabs you. So you just flash over the Skarner, get out there. As I don't think either team are too upset by that. Obviously, Unleash and MBK would have taken the kill. They have no problems. It's a nice
wait a second. He stopped it.
That is really, really unfortunate by SK. Just goes for the E, gets canceled out of it. The stun as well makes it a bit worse. As almost goes down. Obviously, he has no flash either. So Set could try and go psycho for a kill here, but I assume he'll just let the Urgot waste his TP.
He wanted it. You saw that stutter step there. Like, in his eyes, he saw red in that moment. And his jungler probably told him to stop.
But it is a world you're just baiting Urgot to cancel his TP or his recall as well by another bit of time. But yeah, I definitely think he was considering it.
I really thought he was about to just say, go in. As now,
blood, man.
Yeah, hey, Chemtech will be our first dragon this time as well. Actually, it's Red Smite Skarner. I just noticed that. What? Oh, we're balling. We are balling. Released calling himself the best jungler in Premier, going a Red Smite Skarner start, which honestly, I guess is okay if you're able to, just constantly do as much damage as you can. The Skarners just be super tanky as well. But I'm not sure of it too much, because you do love the movement speed, as Urgot actually built the prio that time of set E, as Yika just keeps hitting minions, taking damage.
We'll see him, Yika, just poking around here. Obviously, he's getting poked out with the corrosive charges. Is Urgot definitely looking for a kill play here if he hits 6.
Whoa.
His punch. I think he's just looking a recall, but no, he walked back up very aggro on that W.
Yeah, that's a big waste there, especially with Urgot 6 coming in soon. Okay, we got a fight here, potentially. It is push for Oriana, though, so this Chemtech Dragon should just be taken. Unleash, I don't think can do too much here. And he may go for the steal. Wait a second, Colonel, we may have Cinema here. No, he'll E away. Okay, as Infernal will be coming in as well, so the potential Drakes for Soul are Cloud Ocean, Yeecall.
Yeah, I mean, that trade earlier said just can't stay. Hit 6, a little bit more damage. I mean, that's what you expect from an Urgot.
Yeah, he burned the TP way too early as well. Took a horrible trade. Stayed despite needing his jungler to reset him, but his jungler is just playing bot side, for getting this dragon up as Cogwell eats a tower shot and makes that trade a little bit worse. But unfortunately, now this lane doesn't get any better for Set. As it's just going to get harder and harder for him.
Yeah, once this Urgot reaches his 9 and gets that W max to the toggle, I think that Set is going to have a really, really, really rough time up here.
And as well, just Yeecall just not respecting it as well either, just not flashing. As Unleash will walk mid as well. Grubbies has started on the side of Elysium. They did get the dragon, so them getting the Grubbies as well is also just really bad tempo-wise. Unleashed is mega behind already early game CS. He's already down 20 at 6.5 minutes. So it's kind of hard for him to just constantly keep giving up these objectives pressure as well, because they could just get the feat of objectives already at the next dragon in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see an attempt toward SK's nice pull out of the. He might die for that. Doesn't have a flash to work with. Skarner coming in does not have the impale as SK pulled in, not a stun, but he's gonna go down here. Kill onto Yeecall. Well played there. As again, SK gets pulled out of the disdain, the Urgot E, the charge, and it just gets punished for it.
Well, unfortunately, and Guster Posey, of course, being money man Mundo, decided to show off his big money man skills. Unleash is going in again because NBK is here on the side, but he is going to get stunned up. Has to burn the flash. There is the despair. Can he find it? Colonel, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Oh! I did not expect that to kill.
Oh, American Sniper NBK. Big man on the rift for TSI. And they could get the Feat of Warfare.
Yeah, very easily at this point. You're up 2 kills to 1. Obviously, this Set has painted himself as a pretty easy target here for Yeecall.
It's looking good right now. And I really think that with TSI as well, just playing patiently in the bottom lane as well, this Cog Lulu scaling as well. And, both the top lane plays just going in their favor, technically in their way, but, couldn't really save SK in the early game, but not really something he could do. As soon as he got the ulted in, it's just not enough without flash. I really like the way that TSI is responding to these plays afterwards, setting up a re-fight afterwards and just trying to get a lick back. But it's kind of crazy how big of a CS lead is starting to take place in the jungle, and it's kind of worrying for me.
Yeah, we see him. For the moment, Set back in the top lane. He's yet to go down quite again.
Oh?
As we'll see Lulu pull flash away. Shockwave, and Lulu moment refuses to go down finally with the volley as 2 kills to 2. Ashe is impaled into the tower. It's a 1-for-1. Kog'Maw and Ashe get the kills, but the side of TSI get the first set of feats there with that 3rd kill of the match. As we'll see
NBK
running it down the river. Nice stagger onto the Ishtal's impact there as NBK just walks away as both mid laners is chilling around for the moment. Guster and Unleashed as well. A minute till that next dragon as we'll see the stabilization of the game for the moment as that first feat goes over to the side of TSI as they're going to have those bonus boots coming in eventually. A Set flipped over, just barely not in tower range. His ult actually brings him into it. The big W coming out there is kind of out of spells for the moment as Urgot gets onto him, but Fear Beyond Death just not going to have that execute threshold to get that kill.
I think he thought he'd do a lot more damage there. Guster is just trying to, right now, eating the money man back up. Really good play on the bottom side there. Good response from Unleashed. He was able to just make sure that he could at least get something back. in order to help his team as well. Lulu, very unfortunate flashing and still ending up dying as we have supportal combat for this vision right now in the river. Dilly dying as well, but you take it if you are what you can. Getting any kill into Cog Lulu help try and transition this game away from it. Bork coming up soon for the Lulu as well. But I don't know why Urgot ulted earlier exactly. I don't think that first tower shot would do 600 damage like he expected to bring him to the execute range as Infernal started, and it's just a non-contest from TSI.
As yeah, we'll see the dragon go down there as Yikog gets jumped on again. The set, I don't think he has a tool out of this one as the kill will go over to the side of TSI, their fourth of the game. It looks like they're giving it to Unleashed as the red smite will burn away the set as it will be the kill there. As we'll see Oriana Hui back to the poking in the mid lane as for the moment just bouncing around as potential bit of danger towards Dilly, but he'll be fast to get to.
Oh, just RJ just taking a little bit there, but it's just Astronauta. It's not really too bad of a poke. It could be a lot worse. Personally, as the Grubs second hand will go to the side. TSI, pretty good right now, but really makes you think as well, how did Set end up in that position, considering the last time we saw top? But a bit unfortunate, you know?
Yeah, as we'll see Teleport coming back in here. I'm surprised Set doesn't stay for the extra Demolish hit, but Garner gets the Void Grubs. It'll be a 3-3, as we'll see Mundo potentially following up here. Potential 2v2 here on the top side, but Mundo backs away, Skarner backs away, so not going to be too panicked to force anything here, as gold relatively even here. It's a couple hundred in favor of TSI, as Urgot dashing away from the set here, not in a panic to get any fight going before anyone gets their first item in that top lane, so just going to continue to bounce around for the moment, as again, minor gold lead for the side of TSI. They have those boots upgrade available at some point once they get a little bit more income coming their way. But for the moment, Elysium have drags, and if they can follow that streak up, they might have a bit of a favorability here.
So it's actually just first tower for feats now, because TSI did get feats of warfare,
Yeah.
but Elysium has all the objective bounties and have run pretty much all objectives except for the second set of grubs. Another key difference here is that Mundo is at 100 CS and Skarner's at 71. Already has the Heartsteel completed. As soon as he finishes his full clear as well, probably has his boots. So Guster Posey just high tempo this entire game here, as well as he probably goes for the Scuttle Crab. But as well as we actually see an objective bounty on the side of Hui. Oh, the disdain goes a little wide.
As yeah, actually, I don't know how I convinced myself TSI had somehow taken the bot lane tower, but I was convinced mentally that they had. So, as you mentioned, nobody quite at that boots threshold yet. As we'll see Guster Posey, air quote, hiding, end quote, in the bot lane, as Unleashed, air quote, hiding in the bot lane, end quote, as both of them on opposition wards. Guster will see the ward die under him here in a moment if they don't make their call to go. Dilly does have the ult. Handshake could go for it now. Volley comes in, but now it's going to be this and the play following it up. Ishtal's impact comes in. Renata ult trying to stall for a little bit. Impale available, but not going to have the target quite yet. Arrow just needs to get away from the
flash?
Grab. Yeah, they just don't want to go for it. They don't want to commit 2 feet.
Wait a second!
Turn back, shockwave! Grabs 3 on the backside, so Fonda gonna get 1 there in the form of Lulu, now Unleash. Drops the Impale flash, he's gonna get jumped on now, Ash volleying away. Unleash gonna get picked up, MBK gonna get picked up, and will they retrade the Mundo with the aid of the tower? The kill goes to the Kog'Maw. Just RJ now in danger, or at the very least his tower, as well played by Elysium. They even the kills 5-5. They now walk away, 700 gold up, still have their dragon lead, even on Grubs, as Yika and SK top lane island, as we'll see them potentially get into another scuffle.
I mean, it was just perfect from Naysayer, honestly, but I feel like if you're TSI, you flash with the Skarner ulti there. You go for that play. You know that Naysayer's on his way. You just go for it, honestly. You say, guys, this is our play. We have our timer. We have to do it. They were on vision the entire time, and they still went for the play, knowing it as well, but just cold feet across TSI. And because of that, because of the stutter steps and oh, guys, can we do this? Or guys, can we do this? Just a bit of a comms issue, I believe, realistically happening there. Allows Elysium to just find the perfect shockwave of 3 and just able to just completely turn the fight. And it's... Yes, your Kog'Maw has all of your gold, but it doesn't matter if your Kog'Maw is dead before he can even do damage.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if regular season TSI goes for that play. That's TSI that went 7-0, make that play, get the kills, and get a nice lead off of it. But down 2-0, potentially a game away from being eliminated here in the playoffs. Definitely, it could become a bit of a mental problem for TSI, fearing making those bold plays that could backfire. And at the end of the day, they waited out, they try to walk away, and they end up losing the tools that they were trying to hold on to. They used Skarner Flash, they used Skarner ult, but they end up getting the short end of the stick there, down kills in the fight, down gold in the fight, leading to them losing out on some of their advantages. Elysium hold the gold lead. They're going to get the third dragon of the game, and they are holding on to a lot of things that they really like to have that are common among teams that win games. And while again, things like those dragons early or things like those empowered boots, which they still don't have yet, aren't final sayings of who wins a game, but you'd certainly rather have them than not. And TSI potentially a bit too passive to try and take them.
Yeah, it is a Herald Secure, but it's Mountain Soul. Realistically, it's what you love as set, because you love building resistances, you love getting tankier, because you just love building HP as well. Mundo with a Mountain Soul as well. Ashe able to survive a lot more. Renata as Sofonda. Yeah, and Naysayer. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. The
I
ultimate.
don't think he can do anything.
No.
Yeah. They just walk at him so he can't run away. It's a nice shockwave, obviously grabs both, but at the end of the day, he needs a little bit more AP to try and burst that way.
Yeah, it does have the Ceres Embrace. Not enough yet. Maybe 2 items could change it, potentially, with what he goes. As the Hunting guy, so maybe it's a Riftmaker angle? Don't know the Orianna build, because I personally don't like the Orianna champion. But it's okay. People love the ball lady.
Actually, I'm definitely interested to see what they want to go for here. Obviously, a couple options, just pure item-wise. I'm sure Riftmaker, certainly one of them that you can go. I think Leandries and Bloodletters are the other 2 options with that, as we'll see Skarner drive a Herald into set, but you can try and grab Skarner here, but it's a nice stun there as he's going to get flipped over, and that is a really early W by the set. Able to flash out of the Impale, though, as they're going to go for his tower, but they don't have a minion wave. Unleash is going to take a lot of damage. Ishtal's impact gets him in the wall, and if he had the W back up, I think he kills, but not going to have the timer, so Unleash SK, they take the tower, they get the boots, and they get a kill off it.
I mean, good play, honestly. Set, unlucky game. What can we say? Happens to the best of us, especially the Game 2 performance Yikal had. He's afforded to have a bad game. But that is first tower, so it is feats complete for the side of TSI. Honestly, I really am interested to see how they can respond to this for Elysium as well. You do get the bot tower. It's a nice trade for it as well. Unfortunately, the CS lead in the jungle has ballooned even more.
Oh no!
Somehow, it's 153 to 100.
You know what?
Mundo having as much CS as his top laner.
I don't know what Guster has in the notebook, but the Dr. Mundo jungle seems to be doing wonders.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be really bad as well, but oh, wait a second. Guys, TSI has a gold lead. This is the big jackpot we've been talking about. This has been it, Colonel.
Is it?
Jackpot has been awarded to TSI. First tower.
Jackpot, and it's 1 kill worth of gold.
Oh, RJ?
Kog'Maw. Nice
clutch, nice
cleanse,
clutch.
but yeah.
Just because it's 1 kill worth of gold doesn't mean game is over yet. Ballers ball, We just have to see if this Kog'Maw can ball into the later stages of the game. As it is also going to be a... So it is... What would that be for Skarner? I forget that item only builds out of 2 MR items. So it's not... It's probably Visage for Mundo, of course, because of the healing. And it's probably Rukrin for
I was gonna say, I
Skarner.
feel like it would be a Rooker, and I don't really think he wants a Spirit Visage, and I don't see what a Hollow Radiance is gonna do for him.
You never know. You'd be shocked.
I think there's a world that it's Hollow, but with the
It is.
cloak, it just is Karnak with the cloak.
It
has to
is
be Karnak.
Red Smite Skarner. We may be in for a shock. Not gonna lie.
If he goes anything other than Karnak Rookerin, he's holding on to that cloak. Okay, yeah, it is just Rookerin. I should have
Okay,
looked at the
yeah.
other item in his inventory.
No, I know. I was just making the joke.
I saw the cloak and I'm looking at it like, oh, there's a non-zero chance he goes Hollow Radiance. But yeah, there's no way we're just buying a 900 cloak to sit on it.
Now it is going to be Guster Posey dodging that, of course, with the CC
Oh,
immunity. Unleash
Orianna.
going in. Oh,
good flash.
Naysayer Fly has the flash. Good flash, good
20
flash.
Seconds, 20 seconds until this dragon, as both teams are
Oh,
nice
no.
to get this. Is second to get flipped in, but a lot of stuff is going on to him. W comes out, MBK now it's gonna be the shockwaves. Urgot gets pulled in as Skarner pulling some damage. Berserk flashes away as he's surprisingly not jumped on immediately, as MBK and RJ still the targets here for the side of Elysium, as it will be Kog'Maw dropping the living artillery front in and out, as it will be a dash potentially coming back in. They're looking for a grab, but look at the HP here. You have a recall coming in, but NBK, Unleashed, and RJ are all bleeding out when it comes to HP, as NBK still getting some nice long-range poke, but you have to fight for this
Oh, the
dragon.
TP.
You can't just give a soul. Hui's going to try and recall TP as well, but I think the dragon is surely just about gone now. If we could check its HP here, as we'll see Dilly working on it. 6k HP on the drag. They're actually pretty slow.
Oh, double
to it, as
TP.
SK forces a flash out. Now it's going to be the pin coming in. Hui teleports back in. Is nice set stun, big damage on one leash. There's Unleash coming in. He's trying to get to the dragon, but he goes down. The smite should come in. Mundo picks it up. It wasn't a clean smite, but he gets the dragon regardless. SK runs away, and they know they can't really fight here. But that's a soul at 22 minutes for Elysium, who love
Oh,
the
they're still
tankiness
going.
on their set and Mundo. As NBK and Hax, SK, they know that they need to find a way back into this game, but I agree with the end decision. Right now is not the time.
Wow, what a crazy fight. That was a full minute of fighting, and it still ends up poor for TSI. Straight losing the Skarner at the end of the fight there. I mean, Yikon completely bursted out in the initial engagement as well. Wasn't able to get the angle on the way, burning his flash, ulting the Skarner back into his team, and Skarner just living for so long as well.
Oh.
Buying them just enough time, but it was... Oh,
I don't think they can
Dilly?
kill here. Ash has flash if they really want it, but
No,
I don't think they're
no,
committing
no.
to it as yet.
Come on. And again, as well, the Hui QE almost stealing that dragon, it would have been cinema, but it's unfortunate as... Oh, Arrow just pushed them over, but there's the smite. Oh.
He tried.
Yeah, he tried his best. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He did try his best.
Good effort, Unleashed. Unfortunately, that will not be the pick that they find, as, again, 23 minutes in, Otacon is available if the side of Elysium, or I guess technically either side, want to go for it, as on the flip side, it will be an opportunity. TSI do need to work on some gold here. Obviously, Elysium are walking through with that dragon sweep 4-0, as we'll see Otacon available, Baron up within the next minute and a half here, so we'll see what the side of TSI want to do. Obviously, they just need gold at this point. They're down 500 at the moment, but the Soul definitely weighing against them heavily, as 4 minutes until that Elder comes up. We'll be up at right around that 28-minute mark on the in-game time. As we'll see a push for the tier 1 mid. There have only been 2 towers taken by Elysium, as Skarner looked a little bit bugged there, but regardless,
exact same play that just happened, guys. Guys, we cannot chrono break again, please. You cannot have the same play 3 times in a row. As this has been the closest game out of all 3 for the... Oh, wait a second, the Lulu's hit. Oh,
nice. Yeah, Lulu gets grabbed by the arrow again, and this time not going to have the time to get out. Shockwave holds onto him for a little bit longer as well. They get the kill as mid-tier 1 should fall here. It's nice.
Oh, wait a second, way damage.
A lot stacking in as Guster going to get hit by the Urgot ultimate, but his own ultimate there, the maximum dose is going to keep him alive.
Oh, wait a second.
Aggro play, NBK almost goes down. Guster Posey targeting onto RJ with an axe there, but Bone Cleaver not going to find all that much meaningful there, as we'll see for the moment. Unleashed on the side has the Impale back here, as we'll see if he wants to go for anything, but he's just going to walk back to his wolves, pick up a rock, as Yika moves bot lane, 3 in the mid lane. They can look for a play here, but with RJ and NBK's HP pool, they don't really look like they want to.
I mean, it was a good damage from Hwei there as well, just not enough yet. Doesn't have the pure burst onto the Orianna. It won't have the... Did go double burn as well. So just not enough yet. Needs that third item to really start doing insane amounts of damage. As... Oh, good heavens, do not look at the jungle CS difference. Just don't look at it, guys. Cover your eyes. As... it's getting worse. This still being the closest game, though, like I did say earlier,
Yeah.
gold lead is still relatively close, right? It's not in complete favor yet, as now they will be getting vision for this Otacon, Unleash canceling his base, but, oh, I guess he has the jukes. Dodges both the Orianna and the Renata Q. But,
Yeah,
again, your set is bot.
They're positioning for it. Oh no.
Oh, is this the throw?
Oh no.
Okay, it started by Guster. This is a potentially big throw. This is Voracious Otacon as well. So it's not the one that steals your resistances and does damage to you. It's just the one that sucks for the HP as well. Which is interesting. We've gone Voracious both games. Guster going in a little aggro. But Unleash is going in. TPs are here!
Okay, Mundo still secures it as Yika goes in on the aggro side. Mundo trying to hold on as Unleashed, trying to grab some on the backside. Now Fear Beyond Death grabs onto one, bites them down. One respawn forced out here for the side of Elysium as Guster Posey kiting forward, tanking everything up here. Still over half HP. Maximum dosage has already been used though as Yika backline, putting a lot of pressure on, but this is good stability by the side of Yika. To get knocked up by the Lulu, a lot of damage back in, but it's not going to be enough. A second kill there. Guster Posey might join them. It's the third. Now they're looking towards Dilly. Dilly able to kill SK509 here. Now turning back onto RJ, but the barrier saves him. 4 for 1 as Orianna trying to get away, putting some more damage out onto Unleashed here, but QW misses by the Hwei. They thought it hit, so they turned around already as Orianna able to pick up the Hwei there, goes 1 for 0 at the end. RJ trying to grab the Orianna, able to shield themselves back up with the ball reset, passive grab, as well played by Orianna, gets a kill on the escape, but at the end of the day, 4 for 2 in favor of TSI, but obviously killing in the Otacon buffs means a little bit less. Elder up in 20.
I mean, good fight for TSI. It's good what you need. You waste their Voracious Otacon completely, almost entirely. You lose 2 at the end of the fight, and that was all your Urgot TP as well, so you can't contest Elder because NBK did die and burn the flash as well. This is a potential Elder with them. Urgot now just getting up. NBK does have the teleport.
Yeah, you have to teleport with Hwei. You can't.
You have to, but it's so hard for Skarner to get in. 8K.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, it's too late. It's too late. 4K.
Yeah, he has to go now, but no, that's the Elder, and realistically, I'd be surprised if that's anything but the game, as we'll see if they're able to grab it out. 28 minutes in here. Obviously, a minor gold lead in their hand, 3,000 at the moment. Obviously, Orianna has that reset as well with the Otacon reset, as we'll see if they can go for anything else. It looks like they want to do the Elder as Orianna positioning aggro, gets a rock chucked at her as EQ not going to find the connection there with the Grim Visage, as they're just hitting onto the Baron at this point. They have Elder, they have a lot of buffs to stack themselves up here alongside their gold lead, so we'll see.
You do have Orianna with Otacon still, so she can play as aggro she wants. And yeah, it's just Baron. It's just no contest.
Yeah, they're walking away. I mean, you have Baron Elder. What happens aside from winning the game here? I mean, we'll see.
This is when the big jackpot comes in again for TSI.
10K
the
gold.
Big jackpot.
Not save this game. 10K gold
I
in their
can't
pockets
stop
right now.
winning. Oh, ultimate is dropped.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to cleanse and walk away as Tower 2 gonna go down. A couple minions still remaining here as Hwei trying his best to poke them all down. One will get onto the tower, but it's not enough for the rest of the team to actually start hitting that tower, as they do still have Elder for a bit. They do still have Baron for a bit, as next wave crashing in, trying to hold on. 5v5, everybody's here in the mid lane trying to fight for this tier 3, as the side of Elysium are putting some heavy damage on it, and now it's just a cannon, but Cannon Baron's infamously hard to kill. Kog'Maw Hwei should have an okay time doing it, but the Living Artillery is taking quite a while as the cannon stacking and stacking. Finally, they get that minion dead, but next wave already about to come in here. As TSI, a lot of danger as they're trying to cycle recalls.
Yeah, I mean, this tower is just gone. You just can't fight it right now.
Yeah.
RJ taking a big cue there from the Mundo. I feel like Set is just like waiting. He's like itching to go in. Oh, Naysayer with the yeah, he tried. Not gonna lie, he did try. That would have ended the game right there if Naysayer did hit it.
Oh, they want to fight.
Unleash
Oh, they
looking
want
on
to
the
fight.
side.
Look at Yeehaw. Look at how he's positioning around that corner. He wants
Oh,
to
the
ult
berserk.
something. He doesn't care who he grabs. NBK trying to fight for it. Set now going to stall for a little bit. Fear Beyond Death grabs him, but now it's going to be the Ashel onto the side of the Skarner is Unleashed, trying to get away. Impale hits into the Mundo shield, but he goes where he pleases, and it is not into Skarner's grasp as Dilly is going to be able to stay back for the moment as Elder has dissipated from the side of Elysium. So they got the tower, they got the inhib, they trade Yeehaw for NBK as Baron not long for the world either, as they get a nice advantage off of it, that gold lead up to almost 7k, but they do hold on to the game for the moment.
Yeah, big fight there. MBK with the double burn build just doing a lot there to separate the fight. Econ not having the flash, just slowly walking at them, not able to do a lot that fight as well. And realistically, you know, if Naysayer did have the ultimate there, that fight just completely ends the game as well. But, you know, that's what happens when you go for the hero play sometimes, you know, you do miss and end up becoming the villain. But it should be alright right now. Shadowflame is complete as well. But it is Lucidity Boots for this way. We'll have the upgraded ones as well, as Void Stuff is the next option. Bot lane, we still have Baron for about maybe 10 more seconds, as it may just be over as soon as this is hit, but a good defense for TSI. Baron and Elder, and they're still in this game.
Yeah, we'll see how much longer they can hold on here. The gold lead now, the real problem, 5,000 in favor of this Elysium crew. As we'll see if they can hold on here. Unleashed gets a camp, walks away, is Set pushing that top. He's uncontested at the moment. Urgot's on the way, but the rest of the team are taking tier 2 bot.
Yep, and there we go. It is fallen. I mean, it is hard. It is getting easier and easier as this game goes on for TSI. You do have the way, you do have the Kog'Maw, so you have avenues to win this game going forward. You just have to play footsie with this Orianna ball. You have to watch the Orianna. This could just be in for them.
Yeah, we'll see a Set holding on.
Oh, the ultimate!
Both over there.
Oh, it does hit him!
Kog'Maw. Oh, but it's not long enough as Guster Posey running to the backside. MBK trying to stall, but the tower goes down. Set joining the fight as well, putting pressure still onto Unleashed and NBK, or SK, as a pull Unleashed in danger. Cleaver gets onto him as MBK is behind the enemy team with no mana. If they identify this, they can collapse him, but he's just going to hold a recall behind, try and get back to the base to get mana. 2 inhibs missing is the team. They're just going top. They want to get that triple.
Yeah, and it was the Nexus inhibitor that saved that Kog'Maw's life because of the disposition of the Orianna ulti. If it went fully that time, Kog'Maw would have been dead, and it would have been really bad as Unleash is going in. Oh, we got the Renata in response as well. Cleanse.
Oh, Impale. Oh, Yeekaw's behind. Yeekaw's looking for somebody. He's going to flash ult the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw flashes out, but damage hit in. Dilly kills SK. Now it's 4 trying to fight out. Yeekaw's low as the tower wreaking havoc. The tower is going to put Yeekaw into a state of borrowed time. He's gone down. Way double kill here. NBK going to help stall out for a little bit. Dilly has to flash away from the pole as it will be danger on the backside. Unleashed is going in. He's going to go onto the Orianna here as Sofonda going to have to run away as he will flash out here as a slow comes in. Now Ashel trying to buy them even more time. Volley, Q from Renata. Shockwave comes in, but it doesn't grab onto the way. The real target is Ishtal's impact. I'm shocked it stunned. Unleashed taking a lot of damage. Now he goes down to the volley, and Elysium are going to have another timer to fight while Skarner's dead for 20 seconds. Elder's alive.
I mean, yeah, like the tower just not focused instantly. Mundo just dying to it. Yeehaw dying to it as well. Really, really good fight there. Yeehaw flashing underneath the tower to ult the Kog'Maw, but he didn't get the correct angle, so he mistimed it as Orianna TPs and is just fighting away Lulu here. As now he will fall, and Orianna is dead. Naysayer just TP to his death with Elder alive as well. I mean, yes, Guster Posey is up as well. Unleash is still dead. you have sort of a timer because of just how much distance has to be walked, but no one on the side of Elysium is ready for this, and this could just be a TSI Elder.
Yeah, for the moment,
Oh,
we'll see Guster trying to backpedal away here as they're waiting on Oriana. Obviously, is pretty far away from joining the fight here as TSI holds on. They're backing away. Hax is pretty low. If this Lulu can get jumped on and take a bit of damage, they might just go down as NBK working on the wave. Obviously, at this point, there's no Barons, so gonna have a nice time clearing it out as they're stalling pretty well here for the Oriana, and at this point Elysium, they're not even in a rush to start. Look at the base on all fronts. That bot lane is in danger. Kog'Maw goes back to handle it. Zed is split pushing top lane. He has teleport. Oriana's respawn. She's running Elder as Skarner is gonna try and make their play now. He's gonna go in, get to slow onto Guster, but it's not enough to break the shield as finally they pop
the
it.
TP?
Zed teleports in. He's coming in. Kog'Maw's not at the fight. SK might get one tapped here, flashes away as Urgot now in danger, gonna get pulled in.
Big slam!
He call onto the backside, almost gets a stun, but NBK not to get stunned as Skarner walked forward, kills Lulu with the punch. NBK is chunked. Hax goes down. It's a 1 HP away, a full HP Kog'Maw versus the full brunt of Elysium as the Cleaver's coming in.
Wait a second, Kog'Maw, he's doing a lot of damage here! Oh!
So much damage, but there's too much health. They just won't go down. Set and Mundo can't die except for the time that Yika died right after I said it. As one major minion left, then the midwave crashes in. NBK, a hell of a lot of work to do to hold on to this game as he has some spells left trying to make it happen as the side of Elysium are looking to end the semifinals here and upset the #1 seed as NBK. He's killing out the wave, but Guster Posey doesn't care. Shockwaves don't care, and Elysium are going to clean sweep the previously undefeated TSI.
I mean, it was just crazy that you even walk up into that fight area there. You knew Kog'Maw just wasn't there. You just don't have the damage with Kog'Maw. You sent him back into the base. The Urgot was the one with the teleport. You send Urgot back. You don't send the Kog'Maw. Just a macro mistake just cost them the entire game at the end there. And it was TSI, slowly into that game, trying his hardest just to do what he can, but at the end of the day, just big mistake, and it just cost them everything at the end.
And yeah, I mean, they tried where they could. You see the damage. NBK 45,000, 10k more than anybody in the lobby. Kog'Maw in second, and then the rest of the team falls basically to the bottom as Set, Mundo, Oriana, Ashe, all between 20 and 35,000. As end of the day, it is a successful day for Elysium, and they are certainly going to walk home happy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it works out. Not gonna lie. I definitely did not think that it was enough for them. I thought that game going in, it just would have been crazy for that Kog'Maw just to carry that. I mean, the angles are starting to come up there as well. You were able to punish the set as much as you can. Yeehaw just getting him constantly down. But it's just not enough. It's just big mistake there for TSI, just thinking that they could go into that fight without it, and ultimately just paying the price at the end of the day as well. It's just not enough as well. And as another thing to mention as well was just the complete CS lead that Guster Posey had the entire time on Unleashed. Unleashed. I read a chat message earlier from Coach Pizza saying he needs to be releashed, but that's messed up.
Okay.
That's messed up. So yeah, we do have finals for Premier. It's finally happened, guys. Premier. It seemed like a long time ago, but we finally have gotten into the finals of it. Elysium is there. Conduit is there as well. Potential cinema happening with that soon. I think for TSI, it was just a good season. It was a good showing. It's just unlucky how it ended, It was just not how you thought it should happen for them. It's like when you see the #1 seed in a tournament just go down like that, it's just depressing. Honestly, it is for the players, for the mental. Just keep your chins up, honestly. And I think it should be good for them going into it. Don't think it's that big of a deal considering it is Premier. Honestly, we should see these players in the real BOL season, when the real gloves are dropped as well. But I think it's just good for them.
As yeah, obviously unfortunate after going, I believe, undefeated series-wise the entire regular season. Never how you want to end the season anywhere short of finals. Obviously, the expectation is to go all the way and pick up the win, especially considering the teams that you're up against. But for the moment, it will be, as you mentioned, Elysium Conduit. You definitely don't expect the 4 and 5 seeds against each other in the finals.
Yeah, and do have to do a quick shout out, of course, to our sponsor of the day, ProComps. ProComps is a drafting assistant for League of Legends. It has live draft advice as well, pre-game guides. You can, create teams, sync it, custom tier lists, and all that. Very user friendly. Already has 280,000 downloads as well. So very popular as well. It's user friendly, completely free as well. So honestly, just give it a quick shot, guys, for us, and make sure to use our download link as well. You help us out, making sure that we can stay the top league of all of amateur Kappa. But make sure to go and download it at procomps.gg, and it is fully compliant with Riot and Vanguard as well, so the big thing as well. But I think that will do it for us tonight. Thank you very much for joining us for our cinema series. Elysium taking the final victory tonight. We'll meet Conduit in the finals. TSI unfortunately getting sent home, but it happens to the best of us. Thank you very much for joining us today. I am Glorsnax with my main man, Colonel. Is there anything you want to say?
No, thank you guys for inviting me. Obviously, a hell of a series. Obviously, not the way that the 1 seed wants to go down, but obviously, congrats, Elysium, Conduit for making the finals, and good luck both teams whenever that comes around. I think in, about a week?
Yeah, I believe so.
Definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Now I got to know who wins.
Well, you guys may see me next week here. Maybe. Maybe. Of course. Big maybes. But yeah, no, thank you guys for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Hopefully you spend it happy with family, friends. And you just have a good day at solo queue as well. I hope everyone wins and hope you are all big jackpot winners. GG, guys.